Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Monday, the start of another week. I hope you all had a very good weekend. I hope if you were watching the games over in the United States, you enjoyed seeing that Arsenal beating Everton 2-0. Good performance, certainly in the first half. From what I've seen, I admit I have only seen the highlights. I wasn't able to stay up all night to watch it, but still another win, another good win, another goal for Gabriel Jesus. I'll speak about him a little bit in this video. A few other things as well. We'll talk about some of what Mikel Arteta had to say after the game. We'll look ahead a little bit to the next game against Orlando City, and obviously have a bit of a roundup about what's going on at the moment in the world of transfers. But let's start with that game on sort of Saturday night, Sunday morning, whatever you want to call it. Really positive, I think, as well from what I saw from it, especially in the first half. I thought Arsenal looked really, really good. Jesus scoring another really good goal, sharp finish as well, lovely touch, lovely finish. I think more than that, just the all-round game of Jesus in that certainly in the first half, just causing Everton defence so much problems with intensity, his pressing. Not just him, all of Arsenal's front line, to be fair. It seemed like everything's sort of rubbing off on everyone else as well. And you could tell afterwards Arteta was really, really happy with the performance in that first half and what he saw from his side and how much control they had, how much pressure they put Everton under. Tailed off a little bit in the second half, all the substitutions. It always tends to happen when it comes to pre-season friendlies. But yeah, really positive performance, I thought. And I mean, you can't really ask for much more than what Jesus has done in his first few appearances. Yes, it's only pre-season. You can't really judge what you're seeing in pre-season fully, but it's difficult not to be excited about what it looks like Jesus is going to bring to this Arsenal side in the Premier League in terms of his work ethic, his intensity, his finishing, his movement, everything about it just looks really, really good. I thought his goal was great. The one just before as well when he forced an opportunity and keeper had a good save. I thought was decent as well, and that was someone else who put the pressure on one of the Everton defenders who sort of gave the ball away. But then the goal, the way he sort of brought that down in such a tight area and pinged it in the top corner, really, really good. And then he set up Saka's goal. Good to see Saka on the score sheet. We're going to, a big season hopefully for Bukayo when it comes to goal scoring this season. And I mean, Mikel speaking about Jesus afterwards, I thought this was a great line. He creates chaos. He creates uncertainty. He's always on your shoulder. He's always there to nick the ball off you. He's always in front of goal. He's a real threat, and that is what we need. The moment we give the ball away, he is straight away active and putting pressure and getting the team behind him. He has a lot of leadership skills. I can see straight away what he's doing with the boys, and he's the type of guy that we want. He looks really sharp, really dynamic, really good understanding with his teammates straight away. They are looking for him. He's generating chances, good connections around specific spaces we want to exploit. With especially him, we're really happy. But I love that he creates chaos, and that from so far what I've seen with Jesus when he's been on the pitch for Arsenal, which isn't much, basically 1.5 in Germany, and then not long the same against Everton. But he's just that word chaos. It seems to be what he does. He just causes defence constant amount of problems, and hopefully he can take this into the Premier League season when it does start, because if he can, then Arsenal are just going to look so much better going forward. We all know what Arsenal's problem was last season, not just last season, the last couple of seasons. The attack, they haven't scored enough goals, they haven't caused enough defences, enough problems, they haven't created enough chances really, although that did improve slightly last season. They just needed something more about them, and I think what Jesus is going to bring, and what it certainly looks like he's going to bring, is going to be very, very exciting. And it's rubber. Eddie Nketiah as well, I think, has had a really bright pre-season so far. He hasn't scored since the hat-trick against Ipswich in the behind closed doors game. But again, his ability, his running with the ball, his strength, his pressing, that all just looks like it's leapt up another level since even the end of last season when he played really, really well. So I think that's exciting. And, it's been positive so far. I remember last pre-season was pretty miserable. I don't think Arsenal even won a game. Went up, lost at Hibernian, drew with Rangers, and there was loads of, it was pretty downbeat pre-season. But this one started very, very well, and hopefully if you can continue that and take that momentum in the new season, then that's going to help. And Arsenal next up, they've got Orlando City on Wednesday night. I think it's 12:30 a.m. kickoff. So yeah, it's a tough one for all you guys watching it over in the UK. Obviously, if you're going to be able to stay up, I'm going to do my best to try. I'm not sure I'll be able to. But if Arsenal can win that, then they can go into the Chelsea game, which is obviously going to be the biggest test. We know that, but it'll be really interesting to see how Arsenal play in that Chelsea game, and hopefully a couple of the players as well. We might get to see Fabio Vieira at some point in this pre-season. I'll talk a little bit about the injuries at the end of this, but Yeah, good, really enjoyable. Certainly the highlights. I didn't watch it all, but I watched it, sort of flick through the highlights and the full half packages that they put up on Arsenal.com, and it was really, really encouraging. So great support as well. So if you've been over in the US and you've been watching, you were at that game, brilliant support. I mean, the whole stadium was full of Arsenal, wasn't it? It was a fantastic support, and everyone's spoken about that afterwards. Arteta, Martinelli, all the players, I think, have been really blown away with the support they've received, and I'm sure they'll get similar now they've moved on to Orlando from Baltimore. So speaking after the game, Mikel was asked about Bukayo Saka. Obviously, it was his first game of pre-season, and he was asked about his contract. He didn't say too much. He just said, we will try. We both have the same intention, and it's a matter of time. And I think that's the key word there at the end. It's a matter of time. It's going to a little bit of patience required for this. Look, Arsenal absolutely want Bukayo Saka to stay. Obviously, he's the star boy. He's the poster boy of Arsenal, really, at the moment, and they absolutely want him to stay. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He would walk into any team, in my view anyway, in Europe, and everyone will be after him and keeping an eye on his contract situation. Arsenal need to get it sorted, no doubt about it. You don't want Bukayo Saka going down to the final year of his contract. They've got to get it sorted this summer. It's got to be a priority. It has been a priority. It is a priority, and we know that talks are taking place. And as Mikel's saying there, everyone's got the same intention. That gives you hope that from Saka's side, they're certainly saying the right noises in terms of they want to stay in. And I've spoken about it before. You can only rely on the whole sort of hail end emotional tag for so long. You've got to also match a player's ambition. I think with Mikel in charge and the way he is, how determined he is to try and get Arsenal back to the top, I think, ambition wise in terms of what they're going to say and how the talk's going to go, that's going to be fine. It's just if this vision in Saka's mind is enough to keep him. Hopefully it is, because you think Saka's still very, very young as well. He's not going to be, if he signs for Arsenal now, he's not going to be tied into Arsenal forever by any means. He's still going to have an opportunity to move away if he feels like he needs to. Hopefully he never feels like he needs to, and he stays forever and is a one-club man, and Arsenal can get back to competing in the Champions League season in, season out, and he doesn't have to go anywhere, and they can challenge for trophies. But it is clearly going to be a big priority, and it's something that's going to go on. It's just as big as any transfer for Arsenal this summer, getting Saka tied down, and there's going to be an awful lot of discussions taking place between Saka's agents, Edu, Richard Garlick, everyone at the club in a bid to try and get this resolved sooner rather than later. And these sort of questions that Mikel had to answer after the game at the weekend, he's going to have to answer them an awful lot as the season goes on if Arsenal can't get Saka wrapped up relatively quickly. And in an ideal situation, it'd all be done before the season started. There'd be no uncertainty, nothing, and we could just all sort of forget about it and celebrate the fact that Saka's signed for another 4 or 5 years. But we'll have to wait and see on it. But hopefully, as Mikel says, it is just a matter of time, and soon we will get the confirmation that he has put pen to paper. One player who is certainly, he's in a similar situation actually with Saka when it comes to contract, 2 years left on his deal, is William Saliba. And he is certainly in the headlines once again this summer, as he always seems to have been ever since he signed for Arsenal. But at the weekend, we only saw him play his second game for a senior side since he came to Arsenal. The first was against MK Dons in a pre-season friendly. This time against Everton, Saliba played very, very well as well. I know an awful lot of you were very impressed with what you saw from Saliba in that first half when he started against Everton. Looked really composed on the ball, dominant, comfortable with the ball at his feet. Won challenges, brushed defenders out of the way, and he just looked like he'd been around for ages. And Mikel was very impressed with him, said he was really good. I think he played a really good game, looked very composed straight away. From day one, he's looked really completely focused. He's evolved the way we wanted, and today I think he put in a great performance. And there was lots of eyes on Saliba, and there are going to be lots of eyes on Saliba as the season, as pre-season progresses, as we head towards the start of the season. Where exactly is he going to fit into this Arsenal side? Is Mikel going to play him? Is he going to have to sit on the bench? Will he be happy to sit on the bench in the initial stages? There's going to be an awful lot of focus on Saliba, as it always has been, but just seeing him, and he will know that he'll be under a lot of pressure. Saliba, in his mind, he knows that he's going to have everyone looking at him, so he's going to have to play well and prove himself and prove that he is good enough to play for Arsenal, like I think we all believe that he is. And it's going to be really intriguing to see how he gets on, especially when he sort of sets out that Chelsea game, if he plays that, because Ben White's not playing at the moment because he's got a slight injury. So that's given Saliba the chance to sort of bed in and next to Gabriel against Everton, and he just does look the business, doesn't he? It's very difficult to look at Saliba and not think, you've got everything everything you need to be a top quality centre back. And it was really good to see him play, and it was really good to see him play well. And hopefully, we're going to see more of him in pre-season. He can continue to impress, and then that's just going to put Arsenal in a really good position, put Mikel in a difficult but really good position when it comes to the Premier League. Who do you play at centre back? How do you rip up the White Gabriel partnership? Can Saliba force his way in? And I think one thing, and I've spoken about it before, one thing that Mikel was shown, I think that if you do get a chance and you play well and you can benefit from that chance and stay in the team. We've seen Martinelli do it last year when he seemingly was a little bit out of favour, got his chance, impressed, stayed in the team for the rest of the year. Saliba can do that. And he's going to get plenty of minutes as well. So I thought it was really good that we saw him play, and looking forward to seeing him play throughout this pre-season tour and the game at the Emirates as well against Sevilla. Injuries wise, not a little bit worrying, especially the fact that Kieran Tierney's picked up another issue. He missed the game against Everton. Hopefully it's not too bad. Mikel did say that everyone is out at the moment. It's all just a matter of days. So Kieran was out. Tomiyasu again was out, and it's just when you see Tomiyasu and Tierney injured, it's just like, oh god. Ben White's got injured. Ben White, he said he had a niggle in his quad. We had to protect him, but he trained with the squad yesterday, so hopefully we'll be right. So hopefully we'll see Ben White play against Orlando City on Wednesday night. I'm not sure about Tierney and Tomiyasu yet. The rest of them are all fine, which is good news. And I think we're going to get a lot of comments, or a lot of talk at the moment, certainly over the next sort of 24, 48 hours about Gabriel and Juventus. Juventus have just agreed to deal with Bayern Munich for De Ligt, and they're going to have to be signing a replacement, obviously, and Gabriel is one of the players that has been on their list. Hopefully, it's not going to get too much, not going to get too many headlines and not going to get too much focus. It sounds like they're very, very close to getting Bremner as well, who, from what I understand, I was speaking to Romeo Agreste, who's a goal correspondent for Juventus over in Italy. Brilliant reporter, really got his fingers in the pies over there. He knows exactly what's going on, and I was speaking to him about it, and he was saying that they do like Gabriel. He's a player on the list, but they know it's going to be a really difficult one to try and do. It seems like Bremner has been is a priority. Pau Torres as well. They like. So I think we're going to hear a lot about the potential of Gabriel and Juventus over the next couple of days, maybe. But just because De Ligt is now seemingly gone, but I'm hoping that it's not going to get too much. And from an Arsenal point of view, of course they don't want to sell Gabriel. He's one of the key players in Mikel Arteta's squad. He's one of the first names on the team sheet. Unless Juventus came in with silly money, it'd just be madness to even consider it. And I've spoken about that before. I couldn't get my head around Arsenal even entertaining it unless something was a huge offer came on the table. And I can't imagine a huge offer is going to come on the table that is going to do that. And so, what's the point? If you sell Gabriel, you're not just getting rid of a really good defender, you're getting rid of a very good goal scoring defender as well, which is very, very important. And whoever you bring in, he's going to have to settle in, and you've got no guarantees that they're going to adjust to the Premier League. It'd just be madness. It'd just be two steps forward, one step back when it comes to the whole Arsenal project. So hopefully, yes, you might have to deal with hearing a bit of speculation about Gabriel and Juventus, but hopefully it's going to be no more than that. And Juve will go on, get whoever their number one target is, which certainly looks like they're getting Bremner ahead of Inter Milan, who seem to be getting him. And we can kind of move on from that and just settle down and look on who Arsenal are going to bring in. And Zinchenko's clearly very, very at the top of that list at the moment. Talks, have been ongoing for a while now. It seems like we're getting towards the end game with that. We've just got to wait and see if Arsenal, if everything gets agreed. And if it does, then you would think it's not going to drag on for too long, this one, because all parties are kind of in agreement. Manchester City are believe that he's going to go. Arsenal are trying to get it all done. It's just a case of getting the deal over the line now, and hopefully that shouldn't take too long. This is Arsenal, so it might do, but hopefully it shouldn't. And you're kind of looking at the fee, could well end up being around the £30 million mark. If that's right, then for me that's an absolute bargain. He can come in, he can play midfield, he can play left back. It just provides so many options. And I spoke the other day about Zinchenko. I think it would be a fantastic deal if Arsenal can get him done. And that's about it really for today's video. Not too much more to say. Like I said, I hope you had a really good weekend, and I hope if you're over here in the UK you keep out of this sunshine, because it is very, very hot at the moment. Going to be the hottest day ever today apparently in the UK, and tomorrow could be even hotter. So keep yourself safe wherever you're watching this around the world. Keep yourself cool, and keep your eyes peeled to my social media and goal.com for all the very latest Arsenal news as it happens. Have a good day.